Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I'm Gio and I'm here for the match review of Milan Perugia. I'm alongside Adamo for the first official match of the new season. Milan go on to win this one 2-0 against Perugia. Goals coming in from Onda and Luis Adriano. A very positive match, to say the very least, ahead of Serie A's opening fixture next weekend, of course, against Fiorentina. So, Adamo, what did you make of the match in general? I think we played quite well, didn't give Perugia any chances to generate an attack, and honestly, I think we controlled the match from the beginning till the end.
Overall, was a solid matchup, a good performance by Milan, something that we expected coming up against Perugia. Of course, we said in the preview that they would cause some problems, but it seemed that Mihajlovic knew how to close them down quite well. And then the red card later on in the second half, obviously, made it worse for them. So Milan kind of secured the victory there. But overall, it was a good matchup by Milan. Practically every player did quite well. I didn't see any bad performances. Maybe some players could have done better, but nobody really doing too bad. Honda making a role or a name for himself in that trequartista role, could possibly be the real number 10, I guess you could say. De Sciglio slowly getting a bit better every game. Hopefully that continues because we desperately need him if we want to have some solidified fullbacks. And overall, it's just a fantastic game by Milan.
Yeah, let's speak a bit about the center backs there at Milan. Of course, the pairing of the very young players, Rodrigo Eli and Alessio Romagnoli, 41 years of age combined there. Quite a number, but overall, I think they form a great partnership. I think they could actually challenge some of the veterans in this team when I'm speaking about Mexes and Paletta or even Alex to a starting position. As I mentioned even a few weeks ago, I think every player will definitely fight for their spot in this team by Mihajlovic. And I think Eli and Romagnoli paired up very well and, of course, kept a clean sheet there. But overall, they really closed up what the little attack that Perugia had. Overall played very well together. What do you make of this partnership? And you think Milan can actually start the Serie A season with Romagnoli and Eli?
Well, I definitely think it's possible. I was quite surprised because, the combined age of, 41? Not too bad for two youngsters. Usually you want to throw in a veteran alongside in there, but I'm pretty sure the whole defensive line was under 30, so that's pretty good. Antonelli probably being the oldest, I suspect. But for two center backs that are that young, communication is obviously key and leadership. And it seems that, even though they're of low age, they still have those qualities. So I think definitely they can make a name for themselves as well. The likes of Mexes and Alex and Paletta, as you mentioned, will definitely be challenging them for starting roles, which is always good. You always want to have players fighting for each role, making each player do better, knowing that they don't have a secured position in the team. Possibly the only player in the team that has a secure position is Diego Lopez. So I think overall, it's great that we have so many center backs that are really challenging each other. I'm just praying that Paletta doesn't go. But, if he does, we still have Ali, of course, and Mexes and Alex, and the list goes on. So let's just hope that Zaccardo doesn't get too much playing time.
Well, we're definitely going to need some backups there for the center backs, but it's looking quite good, the situation. I understand we're playing against Perugia, but I really liked what we saw today. Of course, the experience is not really there, but this is already a very good sign coming in for Milan today. Let's speak a bit about the midfield now, because once again, we saw De Jong doing much of the dirty work. Really vital player in that midfield. I can't stress anymore. We saw what he did last season for Milan. If it wasn't for him, I don't know what position Milan would have ended. And once again, he showed it today. And my guess is that once again, he will be a very vital player for Milan in this midfield. Even though he's not really that playmaker type of player, he definitely gets the ball rolling. And speaking of ball rolling, what I really enjoyed from Mihajlovic and Milan today was that unlike last season where the team was very static, the team today really moved around quite well, even with off-the-ball movements. And that is what we need if you really want to generate more attacks. Also shooting a lot from outside the box, something that we really didn't do much last year. We saw it once again today. What do you make of this midfield? Will it be able to start the season, or you still think that we need a quality midfielder there?
I think it wouldn't be bad having a player like Witsel in there, of course, if that were to happen. Obviously there raised some competition in the midfield as well. They didn't do too bad. De Jong was pretty solid as usual. He's always fantastic. And Bertolacci and Bonaventura, they could have done a little bit better, in different halves, but I still think they did pretty decent, and they would have secured the win even if it was against a pretty solid City A side. Of course, you have to change your tactics and such, but I'm sure you guys know what I mean. But I still think that we could use a quality midfielder like Witsel, for example, the guy that we're late through the most. He would definitely, as I said, make it more competitive. He's more box to box. He's a big guy, so he can definitely help out in all areas of the pitch. So I definitely think we really benefit by having a player like him. But if we were to go into the season with these players that we have right now, I wouldn't be upset, but of course I would prefer to have another midfielder in. So overall, I think it could have done a bit better, but nothing too bad. Nothing to worry about really.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, the season is a whole different story altogether. You're gonna fight against top teams. Well, you need quality altogether. So we're gonna see what happens from now on until the end of the transfer window. Now, let's speak a bit about that trequartista where we touched upon just a bit beforehand, where Honda actually scored one goal and provided an assist for the second. And by the way, once again, Honda getting the first goal of the new official season, like we saw last year against Lazio. But what do you make of that position with Honda and Menez possibly swapping around throughout games?
I mean, it's definitely good to have, as we've spoken on all areas of the pitch. Competition is something you really want in your squad, especially if you're planning to go into Europe in the next year or two. So, it's definitely good to have a player like Menez, especially on the bench. Maybe he can even make a case for himself, possibly starting. It's very good that we have interchangeable roles. You could have a player like Bonaventura play a cam, Bertolacci could play a cam, Honda, Menez could play a striker. So there's a lot of mixing and matching that Mihailovic has on his hands. And, hopefully he sees the best thing that comes out. And as the season goes on, we'll have our best XI ready and willing to go against the top teams that we need to secure all 3 points against.
Yeah, just some final words now on the attack, of course, composed by Luis Adriano and Carlos Bacca today. Luis Adriano getting his first official goal in the Milan jersey. And Carlos Bacca came very close, actually scored a wonderful goal. But unfortunately, Luis Adriano was in an offside position, therefore the goal was not counted. I think they both played very well, especially on that second goal that we saw. Carlos Bacca with continuous flicks and tricks there, really giving the emotion to the fans. Definitely an important player for this Milan side, and I think he's going to score lots and lots of goals. And overall, I really like their partnership, and I'm really looking forward to what they could provide for the start of this season. Milan will be facing Crotone in the 4th round matchup of the Tim Cup. That will be in December, so it's in a while. But Milan will have to focus on the Serie A first as it starts on Sunday against Fiorentina. Just an ending note, Adamo, who was your man of the match?
Well, man of the match. There's a lot of candidates, a lot of players did very, very well. Just for the fun of it, I'm going to give it to Honda just because, he needs that kind of boost. Maybe someday he's going to be watching Rossoneri TV and be like, man, Adamo said I was the man of the match. I needed that. So you never know. I'm going to give it to Honda mainly for his goal, his assist, and his overall contribution, hopefully leading to a solid number 10.
Yeah, same here. I don't want to be repetitive, but I really liked what Honda showed today. He's my man of the match as well, scoring one goal, providing an assist. A lot of criticism going into Honda. Just a few days ago, there were links of him moving elsewhere in England or elsewhere in general. And I think Honda can still give something to this team. It really matters on how consistent he's going to be this season, and I definitely hope that he builds on what he did today as in general. So that wraps up our match review of Milan against Perugia. Once again, 2-0 the final score. We'll be seeing you guys, of course, over the weekend as we will give you guys the preview and review of Milan's first official Serie A fixture against Fiorentina, in which is definitely going to be a crazy one, even better than what we saw today, hopefully. And on that note, this has been Gio and Adamo signing off from Rossoneri TV. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and as always, Forza Milan! The Rossoneri haven't completely given up on the player yet, and Milan will try to tempt Zenit with an offer of €25 million plus bonuses.